Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to introduce you to some of the basic functions Python has, and I'm going to talk a little bit about variables and the assignment statement. Alright, now to get into this, this is the input function, and what it does is it calls on an input. Basically, like if you were to type up a password on your computer, it's calling for you to put the password in, and it will not run until you place in your password. So the input calls for you to put your password in, and as soon as you hit enter, it proceeds. But it would not proceed before then. And that's what the input function does. It waits for the user to type in something. Alright, so moving on. Now we have the integer function, which is represented by int. And what this does is it asks for some kind of integer. And what I mean by integer is any kind of whole number. And so it could be 4, 5, or 7, or anything along the lines, as long as it's a whole number and it's an integer. Alright? So the next one is a float function. And what a float is it's calling on a floating point number, and that would basically be any decimal number. For instance, 4.006 would be a floating point number, and the float function would handle numbers with that case. Okay, now we're hitting the string function, represented by str, and this function it's a very complex function, and I will make more in-depth videos about these functions and what you can do with them. But basically, what a string is it can be anything. It could be the word hello, or it could be the number 4. Hence, this would be a string because of the quotation marks around it and the fact that it's running in a string function. Alright, and if you want to know more, I will make a new video on it and talk about it more and what the rules are and stuff. So this is just a basic outline. Alright, now we're hitting the print function. What this function is basically, if you put a number in some kind of a program, like 4 plus 5, the computer will know that the answer is 9. But it will not display the results until you call on the print function, and then it prints out 9. Alright? And now I'll talk a little bit about how assignments and variables work. And like I said, I'll make a whole new video on variables to talk about that so you can understand the rules and stuff. But for now, I hope you can just follow along a little. And let's say we have the variable called x. Alright? Now, you can put in the number 5, like you can type in 5, and that's what x would equal to. Alright? Now say you don't want to just give it a number. Say you want somebody to give it any kind of number possible. Right? Or any kind of anything. So what you do is x, this is the assignment statement, by the way, the equals, it's assigning the value to x. Alright? So x equals, and you could just call on the input function. And what this does is, like I said, it waits on a user to enter something. But right now, you've left it right now, you've left it very open, as in you're telling the user they can enter anything in here. So they can enter words, they can enter numbers, they can enter floating points, and Python will just accept it. Let's say you want to restrict it, like let's say you want to make passwords with only numbers, or let's say you just want to do a math calculation. What you could do here is x equals, you call the integer function, and so no decimal numbers allowed, and input. So this is calling on the user to put some kind of number in there, and if he doesn't put a number, there'll be an error and it'll crash. Alright? Or it'll just tell you there's an error. Now let's say you don't want, or you just want a string. You just call on the string function, or you want it to be a decimal number. You'd call on the float function. It allows the freedom of a decimal number and a whole number, basically. Alright, now what you can do with this. Let's say the user is input 4. Now, as I mentioned, the print function works in a way where it prints the results. So now you entered 4, and let's say a bunch of code is ran, and you want the computer to print whatever x equals. Now, let's basically say your x plus 5, and you entered 4. Alright? So x equals x plus 5. Alright? So you entered 4, so 4 comes in here, and now it's 5. So x equals 9, sorry. Alright? Now you're just waiting for it, and Python's not going to print anything out. So what you do here is hit the print function, so print x. And indeed enough, it will print out 9. That'll be your display results. And the last thing I want to talk about in the print function is, if you write down print, you could write down, if you put quotation marks, you can say, my number is, and then if you put a comma, and you put the variable that you just had, Python will literally print out my number is, because it was in the quotations, and it will skip the comma because it's telling you to move on to the variable, and it'll print out 9. And that's about all I wanted to talk about for this basic intro. Hope you guys liked this video, and there'll definitely be more to come. Thanks for watching.